Fantasy Baseball League. Another epic matchup. I think you dubbed it correctly.
UW?
No, you dubbed it correctly as Separation Week because I feel like that is the underlying theme of the week.
Every once in a while.
You're correct. Yes. Next matchup. Bear Bashers with the 12-3 win over 66-44.
Actually, a surprising score considering the Roto stats were fairly close.
Yeah, I would say that.
You were number 3 for the week, so once again you continue your top Roto team scoring.
Oh.
Because you're so good.
What you're laughing about? So if it's the third overall team, what was 66-44?
He was number 6.
Okay. So
I do give you a little bit of credit. That is a credible win. I think that's your first. I would consider that a quality win for once. It's your first one in probably like 10 weeks.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
Thank you.
All right. Is that all?
It's your matchup.
Oh, well, I don't know. That's...
Talk about yourself. That's what you like to
No,
do. And
it's-
how great you are.
No, it's
How your team is the best team.
No, I felt like we had discussed this last week that 66-44 really wasn't trying to win that much. So
It's okay. He doesn't watch the videos.
I'm just
You can
saying
say that.
he wasn't doing anything. So
Play to win the game.
and we didn't talk about this on the video. We talked about this separately. I thought it was interesting that he has sat with Osuna on his roster this long.
We'll save that for our hot topic.
Oh, we'll save it for the hot topic. So it's a teaser. But yeah, it's not much to talk about. We're just gonna move on. I just avoid my team. That's fine. Nobody needs to talk about me anyway. Next matchup, with the 13-4 win over Ben's Champions.
It was the score does not show. Ben's Champions was the number 1 offensive team for the Roto Week. So he got unlucky.
Wait a minute.
What?
I'm confused on this. I have to ask a question. If Ben's Champions was the number 1 offensive Roto Week, okay,
In Roto score.
in Roto score,
Correct.
how could he have only won 3 offensive categories against you?
Correct. Because when you're talking about total score for the Roto stats, because his lowest score that he got in any category was an 8. Whereas I had a 2 and a 6 based on the totals that I had.
Okay.
So I was towards the bottom in stolen bases.
Yes, I see that.
And I was middle of the pack in doubles. He was 1, 2, or 3 in every
1,
offensive
2,
category.
3. Okay.
In every offensive category. So his total is going to be more than mine because I had a 2 and a 6 in 2 categories. However, for our matchup, yes, every time that he was a second or a third, I was number 1.
Right.
So that's why the matchup score. So you got to look at it. I understand what you're saying, but going by all of his offensive stats, so he got unlucky. He plays anybody else in the league, and his score is 13-4 because he flips all the offense. He doesn't because he didn't win any pitching categories to begin with, but he wins all the offense. He would have swept all the offensive categories against anybody else he played.
Yeah, but his pitching was so terrible. He wasn't beating anybody 13-4. Let's change
He
that
had the
statement.
number 9.
Yeah, he had a 6.30 ERA and a 1.40 WHIP. The only category he would have won, well, he would have had a chance to win quality starts because he had 100 innings. That's a lot of innings.
He was in the middle of the pack. He absolutely would have won strikeouts. He was number 1 in the week.
Yeah. Well,
No, he was number 1. You can't argue.
No. I'm not arguing that, but what I'm saying is that it depends on a matchup. For instance, if he was playing me, I'd be like, no, you're not going to stream me because I'm going to keep throwing. I'm going to get some guys, and I'm going to play with you on
No,
my
because you didn't want to win ERA and WHIP.
He has a 6.30 ERA. I could have literally closed my eyes. Listen, I could have closed my eyes and pointed to the computer screen and said, "Okay, this is a pitcher I'm picking, and he'll do better than a 6.30 ERA."
What if I told you? Spoiler alert! Not the worst team ERA for the week.
Wow, I would be surprised at that. But I'm just saying, I think you have to look at different matchups in a situation like that. Either way,
Number 9, he was
13-4.
the number 9 pitching staff for the week.
Yes.
So, but like I said, I think if he plays anybody else, he may still lose, like you said, because of the pitching.
Right.
It's not going to be that bad.
No. Not that bad. I would agree with that.
So a little unlucky. I'm giving Ben's Champions credit. A little unlucky.
Yeah.
Because offensively, best week. So
Alaska Glaciers with the 14-3 win over Team Joe Boo.
this was one of Team Jobu's worst roto weeks.
He was terrible offensively, and I think that is the
He
main
was
reason why he was
number
clocked.
9, the number 9 offense for the week.
And his pitching wasn't spectacular. That's like, what, 6 or 7? 3? I
That's
don't
the number
understand.
3 pitching staff for the week.
104 total bases seems like a lot. 131 whip seems really bad. I'm surprised. 4 losses, but I guess
That
he-
should no. You don't understand how bad the pitching stats were this week.
Yeah, I guess.
They were terrible.
Mhm.
Do you want me to read you off? Let me read you off some ERAs. Ready?
Yeah.
6.30,
Yeah.
4.34,
Uh-huh.
6.93,
Yeah.
3.75,
Yeah.
4.33, 3.96. Pitching was atrocious this week. Atrocious.
I love it. Anyway,
Why do you love it?
because I've never had this issue, and I'm not even close.
Oh, here we go. I have the best pitching staff. I'm never the number 1 pitching team for the week, but I have the best staff. Although you were number 1 this week.
Yeah.
This week, finally.
So yeah.
So yeah.
The 14-3 score doesn't surprise me because I think it's kind of interesting though because I feel like Alaska Glaciers. What was Alaska Glaciers' roto total? Like what were they as a roto team? You know, what's the rankings? You don't have it?
He was. Oh,
I thought you had that. He just seems middle of the package with these stats I'm seeing.
are you talking about his total roto or his?
Well, you can even break it down to offense and
Well,
pitching.
offensively, I mean, he was
Maybe 4.
4 or 5.
Yeah,
And then pitching, he was
probably.
he was
like 2 or
middle of the
3.
pack. No,
No?
Remember that was one of the surprises.
Well, he was 257 ERA and a 107 whip.
Oh, you're talking about for this week? I thought you said.
I'm sorry.
When you said
I was
total, I thought you were
confused,
talking about for
confused.
this.
I meant for this week.
Okay, so
I apologize.
yes, Alaska Glaciers was number 3 offense
Mhm.
and number 2 pitching. He was the number 2 roto team for the week.
Okay.
Number 2.
All right. Yeah.
But
So,
Team Jobu was number 7.
Yeah. Well, 14-3 win seems
Yes.
about right. I mean, all right. So Alaska Glaciers with a big win. That was big for him.
One of the 3 teams that I said
Mhm.
would be part of the separation.
Yeah. Okay, now the next team, I have to watch my team name here as he's changed his team, but we're going to go back to All Rise because that's what the team was called.
All rise.
All Rise with the 12-4 win over 5 Swords.
That was a big win.
It was.
When you're playing a cellar dweller, you've got to.
It was. And see, it's interesting because that win definitely puts him in the hunt for the playoffs. It's not a question because 6 through 9 are all within like 3.5 games of
Yes.
each other, aren't they?
Yes.
Something like that.
Yes, the only one that we can
Yeah. 5 Swords is out of it.
stick the proverbial
But-
fork in is
Yeah.
5 Swords again,
But
which is
right-
sad.
But right now, look at that. All Rise is 27.5 out.
He's 4 games.
4
from
games.
6.
Just 4 games out. That-
And I know that you think this is a lot. I don't. And I mean, theoretically, he's only 16 games out of 5th. 16 games to me is only 3
Yeah,
weeks.
that's
That's
true.
3 weeks of matchups.
Yeah. So he's definitely still in it. There's
absolutely.
no doubt about
Absolutely.
it. I wouldn't give up. Just saying. 12-4.
This was an ironic. Yes, look
Boy,
at the stats.
yeah, those offensive stats are pretty bad for All Rise.
It doesn't stop at the offense. This is the number 9 and the number 10 roto teams for the week.
Oh my, 5 Swords with that 6.93 ERA.
So, and this is what I've been saying all along. So let's take this for example. So 5 Swords and All Rise were the 2 worst teams roto-wise for the week, but they played each other.
Mm-hmm.
So that means one of them benefited
Mhm.
from that matchup.
Yeah.
Okay. Whereas if anybody else above them would have played these 2 teams,
Mm.
the scores would have been flipped.
Mhm.
So I mean, I would say this is a very fortunate matchup for All Rise,
Mhm.
getting that 12-4 win. Because otherwise, he plays anybody else in the league this week, he's at the 4, and everybody else is at 12 or 13.
Right.
In fact, for some matchups, it might even be worse.
Mm-hmm.
Because, so for example, All Rise had the number 8 pitching, and 5 Swords had the number 10 pitching.
Yeah.
So let's say we would have thrown them up against you. You probably would have swept them in every pitching category.
Yeah.
plus the offense.
Mm-hmm.
So, what do you say? I mean, if you're 5 swords, what do you say at this point?
Well, you start building for next year.
But how do you do that every year when it comes? I mean, we're not even in July.
Well,
It's not even
matter.
July.
It doesn't matter. Whenever it happens, it happens. And when you realize it's not happening, you gotta adjust. It's that simple. And the last matchup, Cobra Kai with the 11-6 win over Team Zips. When we talk about fortunate, let's talk about that, right? I mean, come on, what was Zips? I'm looking at this.
Zips
offense.
was number 8.
Yeah.
Or
there
wait,
you go.
offensively for the week, Zips was number 7.
Yeah, and then
And Cobra Kai was number 4.
and then
Pitching, Cobra Kai was 6, and Zips was 5.
Right. So I wouldn't.
It was
you could-
close.
Yeah, but this was a fortunate week for Cobra Kai. That Zips performed this poorly.
Correct.
Yeah, because
Well, I'm surprised that the score had that much separation, considering their total roto scores were only 104 to 80. So
again, I know you give me a lot of flack for batting average, but I feel like that's very important. And Cobra Kai hit 43 points higher than Zips. What that does is it gives you the extra single that you need to win singles. You know what I'm saying?
only 3 teams hit above 260 this week.
Yeah.
218, 257, 260, 214, 222, 214. Like I said, and I don't know if I could be naive because I have never followed everybody else's matchups this closely before.
Yeah.
Is this normal
Yes.
for batting averages to be this low?
Well, maybe they're a little bit lower because I feel like there's a lot more strikeouts happening now. But
I mean, it's just
I always felt like your opinion on batting averages was a little bit skewed because you were like, oh, I can't have this guy hit 260. I'm like, 260 is not that bad.
correct. I have higher standards for batting average.
Right, but I'm just saying.
I don't want 260 guys.
I get it. I'm not faulting your strategy. I'm just saying that I know that is your opinion. So I think when you actually, this is the first time you've seen all these numbers and you realize that 260 actually is kind of average. You know what I mean? Like that's really not that bad.
Okay.
Of the players that were running out.
Right.
Is what I'm saying.
I got you.
know what I mean?
So 260 is kind of a benchmark.
Yeah. So yes, so that were all the matchups. You say that you have.
I want to go back to real quick
Oh.
Ben's champions, and I want to give him a little bit more credit here.
Oh, okay.
So he lost runs by 2,
Yeah.
home runs by 1,
Mm-hmm.
batting average 317 to 310. How many weeks do you hit 310 and lose batting average?
Not many.
And he lost on base percentage 392 to 391.
Mhm.
I mean, there's 4 categories right there that very
Yeah.
easily on Sunday could have been.
Yeah.
I mean, our score very easily could have been 9-8.
Yeah.
So again, Ben's champions. It was a good matchup.
Mhm.
I'm sorry. Your next segment you were leading into?
No, I just you have the records for the week. That's all.
Yes. So we did have some records. Alaska Glaciers ties the all-time record for fewest amount of losses pitching. 0.
It's good. It's a good record.
Okay. We have a new, and the next 2 records are not necessarily records you want to be acknowledged for.
Uh-oh.
We have a new total bases record, as in most allowed,
Big Ben's champions.
191.
Yeah.
And we have a new worst team ERA record. 5 swords, 6.93. 5 swords also almost did a double dip because he almost put the worst whip with the worst ERA. He had a 1.66 whip, just missing the all-time worst, which was 1.67. You almost got it, 5 swords. You almost got the double dip.
Yeah. So,
And only 1 trade.
all right. Go ahead, over straight.
Trade. This is Zips and 5 swords, so maybe this is 5 swords looking for the future. So we'll do Zips first. Zips acquires Adam Eaton and Eric Hosmer.
Yeah.
You're not a big Adam Eaton guy.
He's always hurt. That's why I'm not a big Adam Eaton guy. If he played every day, he'd be perfectly fine.
For Miguel Andujar, De Jong, and Clevenger.
Yeah.
Don't like, love, hate.
No, I'm very indifferent. I think
You're indifferent.
I think it's.
Are you indifferent because your name is not on here?
No. I think the trade's fine if If those were your needs, your trade is fine. So.
I like Hosmer. I think that's a big pickup. I think he's going to do fine. I think he has been doing fine in San Diego. The home runs aren't there, but
Well, no, and they're not going to be.
no. I was surprised he gave up. Actually, the guy I'm surprised he gave up was Clevenger.
Yeah, I can see that.
Zips loves pitching, so that's
Mm-hmm.
interesting. And obviously the guy I liked the most that Five Swords got was Andujar.
Yeah.
You still think he's producing over his head?
No. My biggest issue is that
No.
he's so low in the order.
Well, right, but you remember this trade is for the future.
Yeah.
You think he's always going to hit seventh? No. He's eventually going to get moved up.
Not
that
with the
line.
Yankees.
Yes.
No way, man. Not a chance.
Way.
Who's at the top of that order? Who's gone?
Gardner.
Yeah. And then who's going to replace Gardner? It ain't going to be Andahar. It's going to be some other fast center fielder guy.
They
You know
don't
what I'm
have a
saying?
fast center fielder guy.
I'm sorry. Did you understand what team we're talking about? We're talking about the New York Yankees. They are going to go and get some elite outfielder
Who?
guy.
Who? There's nobody on free agency.
No, they'll trade for him.
With what?
With what? With what? Clint Frazier? Anybody? Anyone? Are you kidding me? Well, I don't know what you're rolling your eyes for because they're getting something for him.
Because here's the problem.
Shut that up.
Here's the problem with that. Yes, I agree. Clint Frazier at one point did have good value, but if you never play the guy and you never accumulate stats, he's losing value. He's not that high of a trade piece anymore.
I disagree.
Well, of course you would.
I know. I'm saying that teams look at him and say, "Oh, he just hasn't had the chance to play, and then he'll be fine once he gets everyday at bats."
Why would they say that when he hasn't proven that he is going to be fine? He hasn't ever proven that he's fine. That's the problem. That's what I'm trying to tell you. He's never proven that he can be fine with everyday at bats.
Because
And
he's
making
never had a
his
chance.
weekly appearance.
Because he's never had a chance.
No, you're right. So they'll go back to his stats when he did play, and they're not good because he doesn't play every day.
We'll see.
I think he can eventually move up to fifth or sixth. Why can't Glaber hit leadoff?
Yeah, I would say Glaber is, but that doesn't solve the Andahar problem.
Of course, we never said he was going to be a leadoff hitter.
Well, I'm just saying. If you think Andahar's in the top five, you're wrong.
If you think Didi is always going to be up in that lineup like that, Didi's eventually going to get moved down.
Maybe like 2 or 3 years. I could see that. Yeah. But anyway, that.
So it's a push trade in your opinion?
Yes.
I think Zips is very high on Adam Eaton, so I think that's what's
Yeah.
going to make or break that trade.
If he can stay on the field, everything will be fine.
I don't know. The Nats' offense is not
Well,
spectacular.
that's because Harper just forgot how to hit, apparently.
Listen to all those Instagram and Snapchat videos he was making in the off season with his workouts for CrossFit.
Yeah, I mean, I guess CrossFit does not lead to a great Major League Baseball career. I mean,
That could be.
maybe that's what it is. I don't know. But, all right. Well, then I guess we will go to our hot topic, which is the bottom teams and who they should delete off of their
No
team.
wrestling reference.
Oh,
Michael,
come on.
not a
Oh,
wrestling.
I thought it was
Not a wrestling video.
Hot topic. Okay, so we're gonna go from bottom to top. Right now, the 10th place team is Five Swords. What do you have as guys who you would not want to own anymore?
Okay, so looking at this from one perspective, not why do you still own them and rebuilding. I'm looking at it, why do you still own them? You were trying to get into the playoffs, even though we just said that Five Swords is pretty much out of it. Okay?
All right.
So looking at it that way, I'm saying I'm looking at this roster. Kyle Seager, cut bait. I know he's a second half guy. I know the Mariners are hot. He's not going to play. You just traded for Andujar, who you're going to play every day.
Yeah.
Is he worth? And here's my thing. So that means he moves to the util spot. If Kyle Seager's your utility guy, are you confident about your team?
No.
Okay. So that's Kyle Seager. Michael Taylor.
just does not play enough. There's
Correct.
too much.
I mean, he
going on
has
there.
23 stolen bases.
Yes, he does.
But if you don't have him in your lineup when he gets a stolen base, doesn't
Yeah.
matter.
And
And you're not getting anything else from him.
he's still only playing like 2 or 3 days a week.
Correct.
So at this point, he is. He wasn't before. But
And now my third name, which you may disagree with, but like I said, this is if I'm trying to create roster room to pick up better free agents, which I think there are better free agents available, Ohtani.
The offensive.
When he
Ohtani?
comes back, yes.
you would drop him?
Yeah.
I wouldn't. I wouldn't drop him. I mean, if you really didn't want him, I think you could trade him for something if you really wanted. I think he's got some value, especially where he hits in that lineup. And when he comes back, think about this: if they do what they're saying, where he'll come back as hitter only, he's an everyday bat.
Right, but
He won't. Maybe he won't play against lefties. But that's it.
Right. So let me say this. My thought is that Yahoo is going to un-DL both.
Maybe. See, I'm not 100% sure how they're going to do that. I think they might DL one and not the other.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Just because the pitching, they might keep on DL just for franchise leagues, so that you could keep them on your team. I don't know.
See, I don't know what they're going to do.
Yeah, no.
I think if he comes off both, I don't think you can afford to have that pitcher on your roster.
Right. I mean, well, you can if you're actually trying to make the playoffs.
If you're trying to make the playoffs,
and that's
right.
that's what we're doing here.
Right. And anybody else? Those are my 3 big ones.
I would say, and honestly, I think I might have saw his name on the transaction wire, so he might have already dropped him. Gonzalez for.
Yes, he did cut him.
Did he? Okay.
Marlon Gonzalez.
Yeah,
that's the Yonder Alonso.
Oh, okay. I got
Which, why are you picking up Yonder Alonso? Cleveland's offense is still terrible.
Yeah.
Mitch Moreland's out there. That's your first baseman, Mitch Moreland.
Yeah, because even though Gonzalez has a lot of
Multi-positional, he's not doing what he did last year.
not even close. It's
No.
terrible. So
No, so
Yeah,
you're
there's-
wasting.
right. So
That,
but see, you know what though? I look at his team and I like some future guys. You know what I mean?
right, but we say that every year when you
I
look
know
at his
we do.
team.
I know. But I mean,
And they just
Andujar,
don't-
Simmons, Anderson, Mazzara. Those are 4 legit guys.
I thought Brian Anderson was a great pickup by him.
Yeah. Yeah.
Kind of an unknown,
Right.
late rising.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, Mazzara is Mazzara. Corey Dickerson. Okay, so let's talk about this. Guys that you think he should try to trade. Corey Dickerson.
Yeah, but I don't think he'll get anything for Corey Dickerson. I know this league, and there's no way he would get anything for him.
Okay.
Maybe Kiermaier. If Kiermaier stays hot,
Nobody wants him.
see, that's what I'm
Nobody
saying.
wants him. He was a free agent guy. Anybody could have had him.
I know. So everybody's pride gets in the way, and they're like, I could have picked this guy up. I'm not going to trade for him.
I'll give you a name, and you're not going to like it. Ian Happ.
That's tough. I feel like maybe if the Cubs would move him, he would have all kinds of value. And it's not impossible because there's going to be a lot of teams making a lot of moves here in a couple weeks. I really think so.
Possibly.
So when that happens, he could be a guy I would maybe see trading out to go get a pitcher, which everybody needs. Everybody needs pitching.
Yes, correct.
So we'll see.
Okay.
But again, it's hard for me to decipher what to do for Five Swords because Five Swords cannot make the playoffs no matter what. So if I was him, I would make my moves. Say this is what I want for next year. That's what I would do.
Gotcha.
So anyway, I guess we should move on to the next.
Yes.
Next team. The newly named Royal Farms.
We can't discuss the trade, but there was a big trade made causing the team name to be changed.
Yes. I'm sure everybody already knows it by the time they're watching this video.
There's
Guys, he should drop.
Asdrubal Cabrera.
Has he been cold recently?
Yes.
Okay. Because I was going to say, he had pretty good numbers for the year.
Right. Clint Frazier.
Yes, yeah. Clint Frazier shouldn't be owned. And oh my gosh, I didn't realize he's taken up. See, he got sent back down. So, yeah, you can't waste any spots.
He's not farm eligible.
Right.
Michael Fulmer.
Yeah, that's tough. I don't know what happened to him. I don't have a good answer. But, yeah, when you're that bad, yeah.
Those are my top 3 for him.
Do you think he'd get anything for Zach Britton if he tried to trade him?
Has he done anything since he's been back?
I don't know. He's got name value.
I don't think you're gonna get anything.
Are
I
they-
mean,
I
maybe
don't know.
bench champions would want him. No, bench champions doesn't want
No.
any relief pitchers, so no. Alaska Glaciers has always been kind of big on Zach Britton, but
Yeah.
again, I just don't think the value's there.
Oh, wait a minute. Here's a guy. Have you realized how bad Gio Gonzalez has been? Have you been paying attention to that?
But again, correct. But again, you're gonna straight drop him.
Oh, wow.
It's getting to that point.
It really
that whip
is.
is back up to its.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, he's been terrible. I mean, he gave up like 8 runs yesterday, or 2 days ago, whatever it was.
Yeah.
So. But I mean, as far as anybody else that I would just straight cut, I don't know. He's got like I feel like Zach Eflin is kind of like a.
I think he's a streamer.
Yeah, he's just a streamer guy. Like I don't think he's somebody that you'd want to keep.
I think what hurt him this year is his starting pitching's really fallen off.
Right. Oh yeah. Yeah, 'cause
Cole Hamels would be a guy I'd try to trade if I'm playing for the future.
his offense really isn't that bad. It's
okay.
not. I mean,
I would rather have 5 Swords offense.
Well, yeah, for the future. That's why you're
Well,
saying that
yeah.
because he's got a core there of 4 guys who are all
The
pretty
core
young.
4? Oh wait, somebody already used
Oh,
that
yeah,
name
yeah.
before.
Although Adam Jones is going to be interesting too because I'm the Orioles have to get rid of all these guys, right? They can't just take them into the
Who's going
offseason.
to take them? Who's going to take these?
You wouldn't
guys?
want Adam Jones?
To play where? To be your center fielder?
No, not to be your center fielder, but to be a corner outfielder. There's teams who could use another corner outfield bat like him.
Okay. Is Adam Jones going to accept the fact that he's now a corner outfielder? Because that's something you got to consider.
Does he want to win? Because he's not going to win anytime soon there. So I mean, I know he's got 10-5 now. He can go wherever
Correct.
he wants, but I think that if he
It's tough.
wants to win, he can win now with somebody.
Right.
There'll be teams that'll be in. It'll be. I'm actually very excited for the trade deadline.
I don't know. I feel like the trade deadline's been a lot of recently. I feel like there's
There
never
was,
that
there was a
really
couple of huge trades last year.
like.
They were big, but they happened earlier in the season. Remember?
Well, then that's not a trade deadline trade. That's what I'm
That's
saying.
what I'm saying.
The actual trade deadline.
Well, well, we're at the point now where teams are going to start doing something.
They could.
That's what I
They
mean.
could. Where we get around the All Star break. Yeah.
Right. Okay, now we're going to Team Zips. Team Zips.
Almora.
First of all, he needs a catcher, apparently.
No,
Does
he
not
has
have a
one.
catcher. Doesn't
Salvador
play the
Perez.
catcher. Doesn't play him. I got it.
Salvador Perez.
All right.
Albert Amora. Doesn't consistently play.
Yeah, he doesn't play enough. I mean, he's got the numbers, so I
Right.
guess that's why he likes him. But I mean, if you monitor your lineup enough, it's not a bad guy to have. I'm all right with that.
Steven Piscotty. Has been hot, but
Yes, and he literally just picked him up a few days ago.
Okay.
So I'm okay with him as well. Jock Peterson, I can't stand. Why does he have him?
because he's having a breakout year.
Breakout year. Season rank 500. Last 2 weeks, 3 for 25.
Yeah, recently he's slumped. His average is up to He's still hitting 264 for the year with a 340 on base percentage. 10 homers, 14 doubles, 31 runs scored, 21 singles. That's better than Jock Peterson's ever done. That's why it's called a breakout year.
Yeah.
I mean, his trends, he's not trending the correct way.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah.
no, I'm not a Jock Peterson fan either, so I won't argue that.
How is Avisail Garcia been doing?
Not too good since he came back,
He might be a guy that I'd be,
considering.
yeah, because he had his ridiculous year last year, and I wasn't going
And you should have traded him last year.
Yeah.
But in this league, nobody would have.
Well, nobody would have wanted him anyway, but
Pitching?
um,
The only thing I wrote down for pitching was too many Yankee bullpen guys. Just pick one. Why do you got to have 2?
well, maybe he gets 2 holds if they. Well, not really, because Betances is getting most of the holds there.
Correct.
This team should be better than what it is. That pitching staff's pretty. pretty
Jake
legit.
Arrieta's been awful lately.
Yeah, but you can't drop him. He hasn't been
And Paxton, how's he been?
okay.
You see what I mean?
Not awful.
Pitched
Not
well
awful.
against the Orioles.
Nicholas has been pretty decent though, hasn't he?
He's been
Yeah.
super.
That's what I'm saying.
.97 whip
Right,
for the
yeah, he's
year
been great.
for a starting
My
pitcher.
God.
That's
I didn't realize he was that good.
That's Luis Severino type stuff right there.
Yeah. See, there's not a lot he should drop here. I don't see.
No, that's all I had was
That's-
Almora and the Yankees bullpen. guy.
Maybe
Who's the guy?
Maybe Alex Wood.
Yeah, I can see
Yeah,
that.
because I think you could probably do better than him. Although he's been good recently again.
Yes.
Although the last month has been crappy, but the last 2 weeks is good. So I don't know. But this is an interesting team because I feel like he's got a lot of guys who aren't that bad right now. No. I'm sorry, we have to take a break. There's important work stuff happening over here.
All right, I answered it. Sorry, what was your question?
I feel like this team doesn't have that much to change.
No.
Like there's not many guys that I would just up and drop out of this team.
No.
It's better than the last two, that's for sure.
He gets unlucky some weeks with who he plays, but let me tell you, his offense has been awful. He statistically performs offensively at the bottom of the league, at the bottom of the Rotostats every week.
Yeah.
So his offense is the problem.
Right.
I mean, he has the names, but they didn't perform. I think about how bad Ozuna was in the beginning of the year.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Now but he has been doing a lot better recently.
Has been, yes.
So now we will go to Ben's champions, and we're probably going to find like 8 guys who shouldn't be on this team. I will eat a little bit of crow. Bellinger has definitely turned it up here recently. So
You can eat more than Crow, but I'm still not. That's still a guy I don't want. I don't like his swing.
I don't like it either. But he has definitely.
I think Markakis is coming back to earth.
Oh yeah, definitely. Markakis is dropping off dramatically.
Delino DeShields is another guy.
Yeah.
Why? Just for stolen bases? I mean.
What about Marte? That really makes sense.
He was hot. He's on every hot list to pick up.
Yeah.
Ketel Marte. Yeah. DeShields was a guy I'd definitely get rid of. I mean, what does he do? So what is Delino DeShields doing for you? 15 stolen bases, but he's hitting 225 and 321. So, I mean, he's not even going to get on base to steal.
Yeah.
And I think I had one more. Cargo.
Oh, wait. What about Sano? Do you waste a roster spot on Sano now? No. You can't, right? You got to cut bait and say, I'm done with Sano.
He's not going to.
I know he won't, but he should.
You can't trade him.
You can't trade him, but you should just say, sorry, I'm dropping him.
Yeah.
I would. If the same exact thing happened to me, that's what I would do.
Interesting.
I would.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, by the time he finally gets back, you're talking a year. I think this year's done. I don't think he's coming back in at the end of the year. Because the Twins have just completely faded out of everything.
Yeah.
They're like 8 games back of Cleveland now. They're not catching Cleveland, and there's no wild card for them to chase. So I would just...
It's been a very disappointing year for the Twins.
Yeah, definitely.
Very disappointing.
Yeah. I don't know. See, like a guy like Cargo, it's not that he's been... Because obviously he's overperformed
He's
this year.
hot, yeah. He's just hot.
I don't know.
That's his flavor of the week guy.
I know, but when you're sitting there with so many bench offensive guys...
Yeah.
And I know that that's the strategy, but my gosh, you're just handing everybody categories in the bullpen. You're just saying, here, win. I mean, you could definitely just drop 2 offensive guys and stream holds guys, and then you could compete in holds. Yeah. It's that simple. You don't really got to do
What about the pitching staff? He has 10 starting pitchers.
They all suck donkey. They are awful.
Still not on the Rick Porcello bandwagon?
Okay.
9-3.
Porcello's good. Enough, you know.
Every other guy has an ERA over...
Yeah.
Well, wait, who's this? Mike Montgomery.
Yeah.
3.39 ERA.
Yeah, I mean he clearly has the worst pitching staff. It's not close. I mean, all of these guys.
Are you saying he should trade offense for pitching?
If he could, yes. I think it's the market, just like you said, isn't great for that.
Wow.
So
I said in the group text, the pitching this year is just, you either have like the 12 good guys or you have nothing.
But and again, this is the strategy that he uses. There's 4 guys here on this pitching staff that you could find better streaming options than.
Can you?
Yes.
In free agent pitching?
Absolutely. Yes.
I don't know about
that. You definitely
that.
can.
I don't know.
And you can even go by matchups if that's what you want to do.
Well, I mean, you could
saying?
do that, but there's not a guarantee that guy's always going to be available. That's what I'm saying.
Well,
Is there a guy out there who you should automatically... You want me to do 14 days or 30?
Well, I don't know, but this is you're moseying over into a situation that you don't want to be in. You never want to tell everybody what players you want them to pick up.
But here's the thing. I don't think there's any out there. That's what I'm trying to tell you. I don't even think there's, in the last 14 days, Clayton Richard maybe,
Yeah,
Marco Estrada.
maybe.
That's it. Show me another name. Give me another name. That's last 14 days. The best pitchers.
Everybody's a reliever that's in my rankings. I have to change it to starting pitchers.
Correct. You own Freddie Peralta.
Mm-hmm. I do. You still so super down on him, even though he's setting all kinds of rookie records? No comment? All right. Let's see here.
Did he pitch 50 innings yet?
No.
All right then.
Yeah, Conley's pretty bad. Oh, man.
That's what I mean. There is no one out there that's available.
Pick up Edwin Jackson in his 97-mile-an-hour fastball.
I couldn't believe that. I thought he was older. For some reason, I thought Edwin Jackson was like.
Because he pitched when he was 19.
Right.
That's why you think he's older.
I literally thought he was like 30. I thought he was like Bartolo, like 38, 39 years old or something like that.
What is he, like 34 or something?
I think I put it in there, 34, 35, yeah. But I'm saying, there's nothing out there.
Mm-hmm.
There is nothing out there.
Yeah, it's definitely interesting.
So I mean, like I said, I challenge you. Give me a name of a guy
challenge me.
Give me a name of someone that's out there.
Yeah, it's not that easy. But anyway, if I were him, I would, I guess, try to trade offensive guys for pitching.
Because you have the offensive guys that can get you pitching.
Oh my gosh,
easily.
yeah.
You
Easily.
don't even have to, and I'm not even talking about trading the studs.
No. You didn't have to.
So the last team is 66-44.
Yeah. There's all kinds of changes I'd like to make here.
Really?
Yes.
You're not in love with 66-44's roster or 66-44's
first of
roster
all-
management?
Okay. Shouldn't we just cut bait with Russell at this point?
That is number one on my list.
Right. Russell, we're done with. Do you really think he should be running Margot out there every day? Because he is.
I'll check his last 30 days. He's hot.
Yeah, but look at that rank for the season.
Well, no, his rank for the season, no, because he's been atrocious.
Yeah. I mean, but just say this out loud.
He's eventually going to get moved back up to the leadoff spot.
246, 3 homers, 23 RBIs for the season, Matt. For the season.
My name is The.
Oh, the
Or Kamesh.
Kamish.
This guy doesn't know how to do the internet. All right. I'm a big believer in Manuel Margot, so I will disagree on that one.
Okay. Minor snafu. More of the story is that
You're never prepared. That's the moral of the story. Like everything, you're never prepared.
I would drop Margot, but apparently this guy likes Margot. Let's see. Who else would we drop?
I have question mark Ryan Healy.
Yeah. Is he batting like 7th or 8th for them? What is he doing?
Moving around. I see some 4s. I see some 6s. I see some 7s.
Now, if he's batting 4th, I would keep him. But if he's down,
It was only for one game.
Oh, all right. Maybe it was because.
So
of the rest of
I see a lot of 6s.
Yeah.
A lot of 6s.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I do like the
249 with
offense.
14 and 35.
Yeah. Yeah.
What about Polanco?
Yeah, Polanco. I think you cut bait now too.
Cut him or try and trade him to see if someone would still give you something for him because he's still a highly touted prospect.
I would maybe try to trade him, but I mean, really, the only guy who would be willing to take on prospects is Five Swords. Five Swords is the only guy who would actually trade for Polanco right now.
Maybe.
You know, for future upside. That's what I'm saying.
Nobody else.
I
think
can
it'll
waste-
last. Well, yeah, for this year.
Yeah. Everybody else
During
needs a
season.
roster room.
Yeah.
Nobody can just say, okay, please give me the guy who's hitting 220. I want him on my team right now.
Right.
Nobody else can do that. So there you go. There's some inside information, Five Swords. That's what you should be doing right now. Go try to find those guys who aren't performing now but could perform next year. You can go get them because you're the only guy who can.
And this is another guy that we kind of talked about, Ozuna.
Yeah, now, see, I was surprised because as soon as the whole Osuna thing went down, I would have just cut him right then and there. Now, I guess they say he's coming back August 4th.
Will he, though? Maybe the team
So,
won't. I mean, if it's negative
would-
publicity,
no.
negative publicity,
Yeah.
maybe the team will just say maybe it's better if you just go away for a year for the rest of the season, let everybody...
Okay, you talked me into it. I've changed my mind. Yes, you should just drop him completely because what if you waited all that time and then you get to that point and he's not even playing for you? So, yeah, he would be a guy. But you took... yeah, I guess that's okay. Yeah, we did talk about Polanco. I guess it's tough with these. What about Stroman? Stroman's been terrible, right?
You're talking about straight cut or try to move him?
Oh man, no one's gonna trade for him. But see, now after we just went over the free agent list of pitching, which is just non-existent, I don't understand.
I'll give you a name you should trade, and I think you're going to laugh. Garrett Cole.
Why? Because that's the most that you'd be able to get for him right now. Like he's at his peak value. Is that what you're saying?
Well, I think he's at his peak value, and there are certain peripherals that are starting to come up that show that he's going to regress. I don't want to get into details, but
No,
there are
that's
signs
fine.
that it could be a bad second half for him. Could be. I know he did pitch well recently again, but
Mhm.
there are some things showing up that might not be good for Garrett Cole.
Yeah.
Plus, like you said, I think he has the best trade value. But what are you going to get back? You can't trade a pitcher to get pitchers.
No.
Well, would you do the thing like trading a Garrett Cole to get back? All right, so how about this? Would you do a Garrett Cole who's overperforming and go to someone like Five Swords and say, give me 2 starting pitchers?
Depends on the starting pitchers Five Swords gives me. I don't feel like Five Swords has pitching to trade. Like I would like Newcomb, but why in the world would Five Swords
Okay.
trade Newcomb?
Right. So what about...
Maybe this year, maybe Hendricks and somebody for this year. Maybe Hendricks and Clevenger for this year. I could see that.
I was actually going to say Hendricks and Seamart. I think Seamart's getting too much hype.
Oh, yeah. 5 great starts, 1 blow up. 5 great starts, 1 blow up.
3.22 ERA is good, but the 143 WHIP says a different story.
Because he has 1 start where he can't throw a strike and he
Right.
walks 8 guys out of nowhere.
That'd be an interesting trade.
Yeah.
Seamark and Hendricks for Garrett Cole.
Yeah.
I mean, Garrett Cole is a kind of stud if he stays a stud
If he stays a stud.
that Five Swords
Yeah.
could build around.
Right. I got you.
I don't see that. I think he tried to make Seamart his stud, and I would never have made him count on him as being my stud.
His own personal stud.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, I guess I'm surprised after going through all these teams and realizing that it's not that easy to fix them. You know what I mean? Like when you actually say it out loud, I don't know what you can do for some of these teams to make them more playoff push happening right now. I don't know. What do you think?
I think offensively, there's plenty of offensive guys out there in free agency.
Yeah.
Pitching, no, and this is what I've been kind of alluding to in the text messages. I don't know what's going on. Like I said, I don't know if the league has changed and everyone's hoarding more pitchers. There is nothing out there to fix your pitching staff.
Do you think that it all has to revolve around total bases? Because what's happening is that I think streaming is down for the teams that have really good pitching because there's that one category makes it not worth your time. You know what I mean? Because I mean on a weekly basis, I am winning total bases.
Without any factual data, I can't say. My perception would be I would disagree because once you're losing total bases, you're just going to churn the rest of the week anyways.
If you know that you've completely
Correct.
lost total
Correct.
bases,
Correct.
yes. There are some pitching matchups
I
that
just
are
think,
close.
and this is what I said in the text thread, and Globo Jim, aka Cobra Kai, says this is why he likes total bases. Like, I'm playing Team Joe Boo this week, and he's already told me he's shutting down his pitching staff.
Mm-hmm.
And when you and I played, you did the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I like that or not. I don't know if that's good for the league. I don't know. Is that a result of total bases? Because here's my thinking.
Yeah.
Here's my thinking. Why are you shutting down your pitching staff to win one category? But it's not because his ERA and his WHIP are low enough. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It's
Well, here's the deal.
been bizarre.
Let's analyze this matchup right now.
What
Okay?
matchup?
Your current matchup with Team Joe Boo.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, he's way ahead. It's Wednesday, and he's way ahead.
We're just talking pitching here. Nothing else. Just pitching. He's got 48 innings, and you have 17.
Correct.
Okay?
I have 17 plus a horrible 1 2/3 innings by one of my starting pitchers.
Okay.
Which is what
Right,
has
right.
blown up my
Right.
ERA.
Now, right now, he has a 44 strikeout lead on you. Okay. He has 55 strikeouts to 11.
I can easily make that up.
You can make that up the rest of the week.
Right.
Yes. So that is one category that you can win now.
Yes.
Now, he already has 4 wins and you have 0, so that's not a given that you can get 4 wins
Correct.
in the rest of the week.
Correct.
Losses would be over because he's saying I'm benching my guys.
Correct.
Unless he has relievers that get blown up.
Correct.
That's a possibility. And total bases, clearly he'll win because there's only 28 total bases. You're going to get 28 total bases just by throwing guys.
Right. Just to meet my minimum innings. He's at 60.
Right.
He's at 60.
Right.
Which is could that be a new record? Was it your 65?
Yeah,
Pretty sure
I
yours
think
is-
that would be a new
Wow.
record if he stays down there. But again, relievers will give up total bases. Most
can.
likely.
They can.
You know what I mean? Now, and the quality starts at 5 tier 1. You can compete with that.
I can, yes. 5
Okay.
quality starts I have been paying attention to because it is an interesting statistic. 5 and 6 is normally the norm of what everybody gets each week.
Yeah.
So that's what your goal should be. If you're under 5, you're not winning quality starts.
So basically, Team Joe Boo's strategy is and says, I have a 169 ERA and a 121 WHIP. I don't want to screw that up. And Team D can't catch that right now. That's pretty much impossible. If
say
his
so.
ERA and WHIP stays there, you can't get there. You know.
Correct. I would agree with that.
Right. So I understand why Team Joe Boo is doing it that way. I get it. I mean, you wouldn't if you were Team Joe Boo. You would still throw somebody.
Okay, so here's the thing. I agree this week because he already has 4 wins and 5 quality starts.
Yeah.
Okay? What I'm saying is I think it's happening more with, let's say, so here's my question. What if he only had 3 wins and 3 quality starts?
Then he'd probably still pitch. I think.
Would you?
You know what I might do?
No,
I would
don't.
pitch.
That's why I asked you.
I think I would pitch my studs. My Chris
Isn't
Sale.
that, well, that would be your whole staff.
Well, it is. It is. I mean, seriously. I mean, which of those guys would I not pitch? Let's say it that way. But no. But I mean, like, you get what I'm saying. Like, whoever your number 4,
Better
number 5
matchups,
guys
yeah.
are, you
They're
wouldn't.
better matchups.
Yeah. Like if you got a guy pitching at Yankee Stadium, probably like, no, we're not going to do that.
Right.
That kind of stuff.
Right. But I just feel like it's intriguing that I think it's happening more this year than ever.
Well,
Is it a result of just a total basis? Like, I just can't believe that one category.
Yeah. I guarantee you, if total bases didn't exist, Team Joe Boo wouldn't be shutting this down. Because
Would you?
I don't know. He'll probably text us a week from now when he watches the video, and we won't even know what he's talking about. But yeah, I think he would. So, I mean, maybe because the thing is that if he has one guy like gives up 5 runs in 4 innings,
Yeah.
that gets his ERA back up to like 270, and you could catch that if you
Right.
if you
Oh,
get
yeah.
hot. And I think that's another reason why he doesn't want to throw guys. You know. So anyway, all right. This has been a very informative video.
We didn't even do power rankings.
Oh,
Jesus.
that's right. We still have to do that yet.
We better do
Oh,
a quick
gosh.
version of that.
Yeah,
We'll
we
make
better
it quick
do that.
though. We will make it quick.
Yeah, we will. We will. Okay, it's time for the quick abbreviated power rankings. Who is your number 16?
Ben's champions.
Ben's champions at number
And
6.
fading.
And
And
fading.
fading.
I actually have Ben's champions out of my rankings right now. What do you mean? What's that for?
Number 1 offensive team for the week.
So? His pitching is just so atrocious.
Is that
it's taken
anything
him
new?
out. Well, he's not addressing the issue. Number 6 for me is 66-44.
I actually had him out of my top 6.
I see. That's okay.
Well, you can't.
We're allowed to agree to disagree.
You can't get blown out like that and be in your top 6.
Yeah, well, I still like his team better than Ben's champions right now.
Also, another fading team.
Another fading team is Team Joe Boo at number 5. That is
Number
not
5.
my number 5. My number 5 is the still non-existent Cobra Kai.
Really
Yes. Why are you looking at me like that?
interesting. I thought you would have had that higher. He's a little bit of been winning lately.
Yeah, so is everybody else that's in front of him.
Team Jobu just got their A handed to him last week, and you have them higher than him.
I do.
All right.
All right. Go ahead.
My number 4 is Cobra Kai Till I Die.
Cobra Kai.
Sweep the leg.
My number 4 is Team Joe Boo.
Why?
Because I like his team now. I changed my mind. No.
You're using no actual data. He's just.
No.
I like his team. I like his team.
No. His team isn't as bad.
You
as
like
I
his
thought.
team better than Cobra Kai right now?
Currently, today, yes.
Interesting.
Yes, just slightly. It's not like it's a huge differential.
Okay, you'll like my next team. Moving up 1 spot.
Hooray.
Briar Bashers
Mm.
to number 3.
Okay.
To number 3.
All right.
You, by the way, statistically have the easiest strength of schedule still. You and Team Jobu are now 14 points ahead of the 7th place team as far as strength of schedule goes. It's not even close.
Okay.
It's not even close how lucky. Yeah, you should.
No, I don't because of the team stats. Look at the team stats. What did you say? Where am I ranked? Overall, where am I ranked? 3 or 4, something like that. Overall.
You mean last week's team?
No, overall for the whole season.
That's what I
am
said.
ranked?
That's what the stats we did last week.
Yes.
Right. You
Yeah,
were like 4th.
so-
You were 4th or 5th.
Okay. All right then. So then what are we complaining about? What's the issue here? I could understand if I was 7 or 8. I have 12. A total of 12 losses all year long. Think about that. 12 total losses. I lost one matchup by 5, another matchup by 5, and another matchup by 2. That is 12 losses. That's it. The whole season.
You mean 12?
The whole season.
I mean 12 points.
Whatever, I'm sorry, 12 points, whatever you want to say. Yes, 12 points. Think about that. We are in week 13. I must be the luckiest GM in the history of the world.
No,
It's just amazing how lucky I am. No, it's not. My pitching's better than yours, and that is why. End of story. Number 3, Alaska
When
Glaciers.
you play guys that
No,
are
who's your number? Move on. I'm done talking about me. I shouldn't have to because the proof's in the freaking pudding. You can't beat me. You haven't, and that's the end of the story. I beat everybody in this league. Every single team I beat in this league. Every single one, and we're only in week 13. That's crazy. That is crazy talk.
But you play every single team in the league.
Yes. Who else would beat everybody else? Have you beat everybody else? Have you beat every single person in this league?
Well, yeah, because I've been in the league for 15 years.
I meant this season. Go ahead. Move on.
Number 2 for me is the still inconsistent. The pitching, the offense is rolling.
Yes.
Rolling.
My number 2 is me, and my
Why?
number 1. My
Why are
number
you-
1 is Team V.
Why?
Be-
You just said you're the best team in the league. How can you be number 2?
That's not what I said. I'm just saying that the hate that I get is a joke. That's all I was trying to say. No, you're still better than me. I
How?
still think overall your
I haven't.
your
beaten
offense is better than mine. That's
your
why.
pitching is better.
Yes, it is. But sometimes my offense is so bad that I struggle to win some offensive categories, and I don't think that you have that issue. That's why I think overall your team is better.
My number 1 is still Alaska
Which
Glaciers.
is a joke. I have no idea why Alaska Glaciers is number 1. Does he even have a computer? Let's start with that. Does he own a computer?
Yes, he owns one.
He has AOL. That's what he has.
He's mad. He's
I'm done.
mad.
I'm done. I'm out
He's
of here.
mad.
Video over. See you next week.